morning, everybody. Welcome to Forex.Today. ¿Cómo allez-vous? Beep, 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 beep. Me. You want to see my old Fox business interview from when the Dow was less than 8,000? Yeah, we just closed at 26,000. So anyways, hey, let me remind you that trading is risky, not appropriate for everyone. Your past performance, good or bad, is not necessarily indicative of future results. If you sucked yesterday, you might suck a little less today. Well, you could have been the world's greatest trader yesterday, but that doesn't mean that you're the world's greatest today, right? So stay small, stay humble, focus on the long term, and never risk when you cannot afford to lose. Because, you know, it's funny, your biggest losses are going to happen when you got it all figured out. I don't know if you've had the privilege of learning the hard way yet. But, yeah, things usually go bad right after they go good. Doing that now. Yeah. Life. So hi, my name is Wayne. Nice to meet you. Yeah. I'm a currency trader. What do you do? Oh, snap. You too? Cool. Well, I've been doing this for a very long time, and I'm still in love. Still in the honeymoon period. I love Forex. So I'm here to help you succeed. I want you to fall in love too. This could be the greatest thing you've ever done. This could be the thing that leaves legacy behind. This may improve your life, the life of your loved ones around you, your friends, your family. And then at some point, maybe you start giving back. So I've been sharing everything I know with Forex traders now for, I don't know, 14, 15 years. So let's work together, make your world a better place, and then make everyone's world a better place. You know? And remember, money is not the root of evil. But evil people have money. Not all evil people have money. I'm sure there's some evil people that are broke. The point is, you can liberate yourself, you can liberate the world if you can capitalize yourself. So yeah, why not get filthy, stinking rich trading Forex and then make the world a better place? Because it's going to be even more difficult if you're broke and you want to make the world a better place. That's all I'm saying. So I'm here 7:30 a.m. Monday through Friday here at Forex.Today. Just go ahead and register. Please become a client to TradersWay.com. Join our family. That's how you show your loyalty and respect for these webinars if they're helpful to you. My goal is to give you skills and confidence, so when you're ready to trade real money, you can visit TradersWay.com and open an account. Once you're there, you'll find that we have world-class customer service, fast execution times, low spreads. I think that's the combination that you're looking for your successful Forex trading business. So visit TradersWay.com, yo! Throw your diamonds in the sky. Cool. Desktop. Boom! Snap. Hey Wayne, before we start, this week I couldn't upload most of my chart prints and trend lines. Alright, well, let me fix boot camp and then I'll fix that. Yeah. Not bad, not bad. So I've still got a little bit Oh my God. What was I going to say? Oh, yeah. So I was messing around with Turkish lira yesterday. Sold the heck out of it. Sell. Like 5, 6, 7 trades. And it was one of these situations like, I'm the greatest trader in the world. Everyone's going to love me tomorrow morning. They're going to go crazy. Right? And then I walk away for 2-3 hours, life. And I come back and I'm like, oh snap, where's all my money? Where did it all go? What? Break even. So somehow the dollar rallied or the Turkish lira tanked. I'm like, oh, you son of a... So I had one of those days. I don't know about you. Yeah, I still have 2 open as well, Checky. And then, of course, after it rallied again, then it crashed back again. So, it was pretty funny. The Fed speak, yeah. So anyways, it was just like, mother. So. Yeah, Ron. I appreciate those cigars, man. I really do. I haven't spent the money you put into the fund. I've loaded the cart a couple of times, but I want to get something like crazy ridiculous, right? So I'm going to stockpile everyone, the little contributions in the Wayne McDonell Whiskey and Cigar Foundation. Get something ridiculous. And no, I keep coughing and clearing my throat. I'm a little bit sick. My kids are sick. My wife is getting sick. By the way, the roads in my city have been closed by the police for the last 2 days. People are not even going to work. I'm here every morning for you guys. Kids are not going to school. The schools are shut down. The roads, the bridge across my lake has been closed by the police. I'm here for you every day. I never leave. Must be the snow. So anyways, thank you for the little cigar, generous cigar contribution, Ronnie boy. It's actually a little bit more than a half an inch. It's still around. Just it didn't melt at all yesterday. Bear in mind, I had 15 people working on my house the day before it snowed. So there's snow. There's equipment everywhere, right? There's ladders all over the yard. There's snow on top of them. There's ladders on the roof. There's ladders here and there. It's just funny. So whatever. Okay, yen. You can see euro yen generally up. Here's a little evidence for the bears that first trade setup has failed for them, which is the benefit of a trade plan, knowing when it's failed. Here's the conversation we had yesterday. This was the top, and this is the bottom, the projected top and bottom for the month. Isn't that great? It's beautiful, isn't it? That's the projected top for the month. That's the projected bottom. It double bottomed on our price from 3 weeks ago. Isn't it great? Yeah, it's going to fall down into here. And then it double bottoms on our price. I just that gives me confidence, right? And now this is heading up. Cool. Aussie yen. Let's put some more time on this sucker. Double bottom. Higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high. Interesting, right? Now, when we talk about things like this sucker's going to drop, you don't quite believe me, and then it does, and it's amazing, right? And then I'm like, yeah, there's going to be a false rally this week, right? And then it happens and you don't quite believe me, and then you're like, what? Right? You're like, son of a... But it's interesting, isn't it? So we got one more piece in the puzzle, and every time I make these predictions, I run the risk of being wrong, looking foolish, and all this kind of stuff, right? So the next part of this is, there has been a propensity in the past for this to drop again. Not just this one pair, all the end pairs, right? I mean, we don't know, but this was a hell of a guess in an uptrend. And then after dropping like a bajillion pips, who thinks about it like going all the way back? Right? Right? Nobody says, yeah, this thing just dropped a bajillion, so for sure it's going to turn around and go all the way back. Right? Like those are your patterns, right? That's what you're looking for. I mean, it's crazy, right? Those are sort of the V-shaped stuff that doesn't normally happen. But it was nice to know this week it was going to fall and this week it would rise. It's kind of nice knowing that first, right? And it also begs the question, right? If you know the future, you can make money, right? If you just know the future, that's all you would need, right? Remember that conversation? If you only knew the future, then you'd just be filthy, stinking rich. You would just take advantage of the whole situation because you know where it's going before everyone else. So what do you do if you know the future and you don't make money? Then what's the problem, right? And I always found that like the wake-up call, because then it's like, oh, it's not your strategy or your knowledge or your alpha or whatever. There's something else that's holding you back, right? So you should focus on that. What is it? If you had a solid hypothesis of direction of the market weeks in advance and didn't make money, then why not, right? And I think those are the more interesting questions, honestly. That's the one where you sit and you smoke your cigar, you ponder. All right, why didn't I make money? What is it? What part of my behavior do I need to change, right? And now we're talking about like the important questions of life. How do you grow? How do you improve? And I think if you can answer that, it doesn't matter what your strategy is. Because you'll be stronger, so whatever your strategy is, you'll be a stronger trader or stronger person to be able to carry it out. Because in the beginning, it's easy to blame, oh, well, my MACD, or, oh, this guy's strategy is stupid, or, well, it's so unpredictable. These markets are so, you could never predict this, so it's okay for me to fail, because you can't predict these things in advance. You just can't. But if I could, I'd be filthy stinking rich. But I can't, so it's okay to fail. Well, what if you could and you still failed? Well, then you'd work on other things and you wouldn't blame, externalities, right? The stuff you can't change, the outside costs that can't be accounted for. Well, it's not an external problem. It's an internal problem. Right? And I think when you get to that point as a trader, you're like, dude, I know technical analysis pretty decent. I know fundamentals okay. Why am I not cracking this nut, right? And you're like, ooh, it's internal. Then you can get strong. Aye? Aye, right? I hope you get to that point. Those are the breakthroughs, man. Those are the breakthrough days. So Beast heading up into here. I was short this yesterday, I believe, or the day before, and lost. I think I played this move here. And I think I explained it like, I don't like it, but if the false rally's over quick, then that would be it, right? But I believe my stop was just above these wicks, just above. So I lost a little bit, but I'm just, you know, but look at that, huh? If you go your way. Oh, look at our double bottom last week. Look how hardcore I drew it. This one and this one. Let's drag it across, and I'll try to do it as fair as possible. That looks about flat, doesn't it? And then this one. You go your way and I'll go mine. Are we so? Yeah. Ah, come on. All right, MT4 won't let me grab it now. All right, whatever. Pretty nice bottom, huh? You like that? Yeah, I think I have an ostrich egg, Ryan, that says that on the back. Yeah. Yeah, I wish I was more gangsta. I used to be pretty. Now I just look like an old man. But I think it'd be cool. You remember that luggage we saw in Joburg somewhere where it was like cow fur suitcases? I'm like, that's gangsta. When I come out of my private jet, I want someone behind me carrying all my luggage, and it's all cow fur luggage. Take it to the to the Cadillac Escalade limousine. I have to have a matching hat though, right? Boom! I have a friend that wears alligator skin shoes, which is one step above like everybody, right? But pink. And I'm like, whoa, you have pink alligator skin dress shoes? Like, wow, you gotta be a confident dude. Anyways. He's like, yeah, I own the company. They get to try things out. I'm like, all right, well, if you own the company, you can do whatever you want. All right. Boy, that played out and stopped, huh? Let's take a look. I think I have this and this as areas that I would buy, right? We have this. This is the pattern where we expected it to drop to this price. If you look right, you can see I have this area as possibly a place to buy. And then I have this area based on this low as a possible area to buy plus the pivot cluster, right? So again, when you're trade planning, the biggest choice you have to make is whether you're a buyer or a seller. And ideally, you do this without even looking at a chart. But I've beaten this point to death for 15 years. So I hope, I wish you knew, okay? Anyways, based on, I guess this is Tuesday's analysis, not Wednesday's. This was an area where you could buy, or this is an area in which you could buy, okay? And with that in mind, bearing that in mind, a bear would sell here, right? Or higher up, which would be about here, right? You can see I even have this, okay? And this drop up to here, we predicted it would drop to that point, and at that point you don't know, so therefore you have to have a trade plan. But, right, this worked really beautifully, didn't it, if you were a bull? It's very, very catchable, isn't it? It's catchable, right? It's just, all you had to do is be a bull. If you're neither a bull or a bear, it's very difficult to make these decisions because you're like, oh, well, it could, but this and that, and what if, and oh, and you're just, okay. Cases we're not, but you could be. Okay? The thought is, well, what if it does one of these, right? So in that case, as a bear, you're looking for evidence that this will top out. So not on a 1 hour, but maybe on a 4 hour or a daily, what's happened is this. And then the future will look like that. Okay? Okay? Well, Ryan, you know, there's, I think over years and decades of trading, we inevitably change as traders. And it seems to be the short-term game is a very sort of a young person's, here and now, the younger trader, but in particular probably a younger person's game, personality, go make money now, and then hit the bars, right? But then, like, as you get older, I guess, it's harder and harder to do that all day, every day. But also, like, when you think of money managers that own stock portfolios, you find that, they have a few $100 million, which is not a lot of money, but let's say a few $100 million in cash invested into 20 stocks, 25 stocks. And, once or twice a year, they take some profit and they reinvest into something new. Once a year, right? And they live, that's their job. You're like, wow, because that's like not a lot of work. Right? You're like, and they make how much per year? To do what? To buy a stock once a year? Okay. So what if you could bring sort of the longer term to your outlook? So, like, let's go back, let's look at like the Aussie yen daily. And let's just go, let's do a very, very basic view. Yeah. There's lots of opportunity to buy and hold, huh? So this is right here, so let me circle it. This is the third week of August, the 2016. Okay. No, that's June. Oops, forget that one. Whatever. But look at the patterns. They're no different than anything else, right? But what if you were just a buyer of Japanese yen and it took months for you to set up a trade? It's plausible, right? It's plausible, and you build a portfolio. You can even look at this. Beautiful, right? You know, if it breaks above, either this area or this area will be a future buy. So it would go up, and then it would come down, and then it would go up, right? But that might be September. Joe says you just have to have the bias. Yeah. And the fulcrum points. Yeah, but that could be your job, right? And like if you had, let's say you had a few $100 million in your account in cash, are you really going to be scalping? Like you're going to put 10 standard lots on a trade and try to pick up 8 pips at a time? Right? At some point it's not scalable. So you could say things like, well, for the quarter, I'm looking for, you know, Japanese yen to strengthen. For the quarter, right? And so even though this week or the last few days, the yen weakens, it doesn't really impact, you know, what you're thinking. Like even the first half of the year, you could say, well, throughout the first half of 2018, the Japanese yen is set to strengthen. So we will look for opportunities to buy the Japanese yen, right? And then when you think like so broadly, you have days, even weeks to set up some trades, right? A 3-day rally in yen pairs doesn't really change your outlook that much, right? Because you're basing everything on repatriation flows of Japanese yen based on fiscal year end in Japan, right? And stuff like that. And that's your alpha. And you're not chasing every breaking wave on the shore, right? Ebb and flow, ebb and flow, ebb and flow, and you drowned in the tide. So anyways, so like this has been going up for this week. Now this is my false rally week, right? Now let's say you weren't doing it to that accuracy, where you're like, this week it's going to get strong, next week it's going to get weak, and then the week after it's going to get strong. I mean, that's a lot of, that's probably too much detail, right? What if all you said was, starting in the new year, we are looking for opportunities to sell Kiwi yen. It's not a Kiwi issue, it's more of a yen issue, right? And that's all, that's your entire alpha. So now you'd be looking for a double top, right? And if it went higher, you'd say, huh, we don't like that. That doesn't fit into our bias. Market conditions are not favorable for selling, so we might have to wait a month, wait a couple of weeks and see what shakes out of this. Jackie, no. Jackie says, yen strength because of tax flows and stuff. Well, it's money flow that we're talking about in general, right? So whatever causes that. But Japan is interesting because it's been deflationary for 30 years, which means if you're Japanese, a Japanese housewife, a Japanese bank, a Japanese wealth management firm, a Japanese insurance company or pension fund, whatever, they are forced to invest globally outside their economy because they have a deflationary economy. So at tax time, they bring a lot of money home. Who? Everybody brings a lot of money home. So Japan is a little bit unique. Okay? Japan is also one of the wealthiest countries in the world. Okay? So if I say, Mexican peso is going to repatriate $2.6 billion at the top of the month, and it moves the Mexican peso, that's really cool, right? But when I say the entire population of Japan is going to repatriate money, wow. Yeah. Okay, Jackie? Yeah. But bear in mind, like, that stuff, it's not like a cool trick. This is actually what we do. We need to track global money flow. Right? Why does the euro get strong when their economy is crap? Well, because it's less crap than it used to be, and prices are cheap. So people are looking for deals. They're snapping up Europe for cheap. That's why the euro gets strong. It's amazing, right? Well, Jackie, to make it sort of more obvious, deflationary means prices fall. Hang on, I got to get this. This is probably my work crew. Hang on. Huh? Workers are not coming out. It's too terrible to work. Huh? Except for this dude, huh? No, never get a break. That's how it goes. Yeah. So, what was I going to say? Japanese yen. Oh, deflationary means prices fall. So how would you like it to invest and buy something when its value would likely fall, or certainly just simply not rise? When you buy something, you kind of, as an investment, you kind of want that value to go up, right? So in a deflationary economy where prices are falling, it's not a good investment, right? Well, no, but you're a $1 billion pension fund now, and you have 30 years of risk. People are going to like start withdrawing down their pensions, and you're like, oh my God. So where do you invest if you're a multi-billion-dollar or multi-trillion-dollar pension fund with 30 years of financial risk? What do you just wait 30 years? Like if they would have waited 30 years, well, it's been deflationary for practically 30 years, certainly 25, right? So you're like, well, I kind of need to invest this money. to earn a return. So you invest somewhere else. Yeah. Yeah. So you need, as a pension fund now, you need something safe, right? You can't afford to lose money. This is pension funds. These are retired people that are going to ask for their money. You know that they're going to ask for their money. You will get redemptions, right? So you have to make money, but you can't lose money. You can't accept risk. But typically you got to make at least enough money to cover inflation. And then, of course, the cost of the company, right? But buy bonds. What bonds? Yeah, that would be great, right? Yeah, U.S. bonds. Actually, technically, it would be treasuries. Not a corporate bond, but a government treasury. Okay? Mickey says, is Japan experiencing a reverse bubble? Well, Japan's complicated. So, like, for example, you look at it, and the Japanese stock market is now the highest in, like, almost 20 years or something, right? 1991, whenever that was. So the stock market's been rallying like crazy. Well, that's what quantitative easing does, yo. Okay, but what's the other problem with that? What's the other problem that the Nikkei now is at the highest it's been since 1991? Which is a good thing. Amazingly, that's a good thing, right? Why is the Japanese stock market doing so? Yeah, because the government is actually buying it. Isn't that crazy? Like, so what's my comment on that? Is it a bubble? So they say you can't tell that a bubble exists until what happens? What's the thing that determines that there was a bubble? When it bursts. Yeah. But we were talking about this maybe 2 or 3 weeks ago. It can't burst. Because how does the government get out of that? It owns 75% of the market, so who's going to buy it from them when they sell it? And what happens if suddenly the Japanese central bank dumps 70% of the stock market? I mean, well, first of all, can you even sell it if nobody's buying? I'm like, I mean, so what do you call that? I mean, this is my PhD dissertation type stuff. Like, I should name it. But if there's no buyers, you can't sell. So if they don't sell, it doesn't fall. Right? I mean, let's change it another way. Let's say you had money and you were willing to buy the Japanese stock market, and you knew the government was owning 75% of it. Wouldn't you wait for it to fall at least 75% to buy it back again? Because it's only worth 75% of the existing price, kind of thing. Like, I mean, so that would be fair market value. You wouldn't want to buy at fair market value. Who buys at fair market value? Here's $1. Do you want to buy it from me for $1? You're like, why would I do that? Especially if there's a cost to the transaction, right? Right? Hey, I have $1 million. You want to buy it from me for $1 million? Like, well, why? It just doesn't make sense, right? Like, why would I buy your $1 million and lose my $1 million, and then be left with $1 million? Well, would you buy $1 million from me for $950,000? I could get buyers all day. All day. All day, a buyer would step up for that, right? So at the bare minimum, I would need at least 80% fall in the Japanese stock market for me to even consider buying it. Then I have to find a company I like. So I don't know. I'm confident enough of a person to tell you that one, I don't know. Right? But that sounds like Godzilla walking through Tokyo during a zombie apocalypse. Right? Yeah. Can you imagine? You're sitting there and you're like, oh my God, is this a zombie apocalypse? You're like, yeah, half the population's turned into zombies and they're eating everybody. You're like, well, look on the bright side. At least we don't have a Godzilla again. Because that would be, oh, damn, that's Godzilla. Oh, geez, the timing of this during my zombie apocalypse. This sucks. What bad timing. Yeah, it'd be really bad. Stupid Godzilla. How did he know? So yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know what they're gonna do. I don't know. But I'd like to make money on it. Okay. Oh yeah, we got to do this one. So this was funny yesterday. Oh yeah. So this drop here. Oh, it was this one. Yeah. So it dropped. It came up, and I sold this like 7 times or something. And I walk away. I'm here. I'm like, I'm the world's greatest trader. Look at all the pips. I mean, it was good, right? And I come back a few hours later. Hey, am I up? 10 million pips by? And I look and I'm like, where are all my trades? I'd moved all the stops, break even and stuff. So, anyways, I'm still short here, and I'm short here on something else somewhere. Anyways, I'm here, and that's added up to today about 230 pips for the day on 2 trades total. I was in 7 or 8 or 9 or whatever it was, so I should be up 10 billion pips. But and when I say pips, I'm just like, if that was euro dollar or something, right? But whatever. You go. So yeah, it was like up, and then it was like sell, 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 and then it was all gone. I felt so good down here. I'm checking my phone, like, yeah, world's greatest trader. I knew it. Nailed that. This is so easy. I'm the greatest. What? Where'd my pips go? So that happened. Tippity top, maybe. Tippity top, maybe. Up, up, up. Hang on. I'm not a businessman. I'm a businessman. No, speakerphone. I got beeswax. Business is going on. Anyways. So anyways, yeah, some topishness here. Is she going to turn around, drop back down? That's your call. We had this, if it was going to reverse, it would reverse the way that I showed you here, right? Let me get rid of this now. But when you open outside the pivot zone, so anyone that's taken a swing trading course knows that the way to trade this is off the moving average, because you're out of your buy zone. So you're buying overbought. So the only way to do that is off the moving average. And you can see how the 21 here has kept it elevated. Either way, you should be out of this at this price. That's that, if you're a bull. So now a bear would be looking for the turn and a drop. Double top is a fair reversal pattern. And then a 1, 2, 3 is the next follow-up, right? Because it's got to step down these moving averages. Excuse me, right? So down to 21, then it's got to break the 21 to the 55, then it's got to do the false rally because the 21 predicts a double top. So let's see if I can draw this visually. It would need to like hit this, fail, hit this, and then work its way up to the double top, and then maybe fall next week. Okay? Because of the EMAs. So this would end up doing this. And this would end up doing this. Oh, that hurt. Oh, my back. Yes, if the 55 is in control, then, so Juan hasn't taken any of the courses or read my book. Juan, Jota, come on. You got it, right? Come on. Yeah, of course. That's what it's there for. Oh, okay. But yeah, okay, well then write it down. Yes. Unequivocally, the 55 predicts a double top. If price was kicking off that moving average, so if you found yourself here, then it predicts this. Absolutely, totally 100%. Now, does it happen totally 100%? No, but that's what it's predicting. Okay? Sure, it's all the same, right? It's price action, it's Fibonacci, it's all of that kind of stuff. You go your way and I'll go mine. We so helpless against the time. I mean, same thing here. Looking at euro dollar, you can see yesterday we predicted up to the shoulder and down. Let's revisit this. We were, I think we were double topping at that time, weren't we? We were kind of here, weren't we? So anyways, I have it coming up, revisiting here to create a head and shoulders, which hadn't formed yet. And from that, we took, so we must have been here at the time. So from there, I took the distance from this neckline to this top, made this line from the neckline, and predicted a drop to here based on, at some point, a test of the left shoulder creating a right shoulder. So it's sort of happened. Right? It's sort of in play. I mean, this hadn't happened yet, right? So, I don't know. I wouldn't squeeze too much into that. But there's a lot, at least the thinking of it, there's a lot to it, right? But at the end of the day, those pivots might be enough support to buy it, because generally speaking, the dollar should be weak. Generally speaking, the euro should be strong. We know that, all that kind of stuff. But if it reversed into here, it's still a buy on the long run. As you can see, I've already highlighted this for you, right? So you could have this up here, profit taking. That predicts a retracement back to the central. The lower low or neckline predicts the head and shoulders, which gets us down into here, which is just a buy zone on a higher time frame. And we turn this freight train around, and euros go into like $1.30. But see, that would have to be your alpha. So it's not, I mean, that's not fair, right? Like, that's my alpha. So I could sit with the client and say, well, you know, we're snapping up euro now. Next spot's going to be around 121, 122. And we predict, you know, this is going to 130 to 135 by the end of the year. But that's what I would say if I were me. Right? Right? See, that's why your own analysis is important. Your own independence is important. Like, nobody told me to buy Turkish lira. I'm just crushing this Turkish lira. Just crushing it. Oh, and earning 320% interest. Yeah, 325% a year in interest payments. Yeah, I mean, Brady's good. Yeah, but Brady, how long have you been trading Turkish lira? You're going to say like 3 weeks, right? Oh, months. All right, months. 4 months. That's good. Or was it? It was for a while, huh? Yeah. So anyways, cool. Right on, man. Right on. CAD, nothing new. Peso, same thing. WATI, nothing's happened. I think we're kind of done, right? Just floating around. Well, I wish I had those 7 or 8 lira trades open for yesterday. You would have been so impressed. You're like, oh, Wayne, you're so great. And I'm an only child, so I love that stuff, right? I'm like, really? Really? Really, you think so? Yeah, I was the only child that sat in the corner with his invisible friends, mumbling to himself. Now, like I said, I don't even know if you guys are real. I could just be a figment of my imagination. I might be in a mental hospital sitting in a wheelchair like this. Yes, you should get out of the euro. We're at an M4. You should get out. Like, oh, there's Wayne babbling again to himself. He thinks people can hear him. over the internet. Right. It's funny, isn't it? I spend hours a day for 15 years and no one ever talks back. It's great. And then my wife wants to sit on the couch. She says, why don't you tell me about your feelings? And I don't, and all of a sudden I'm like, I love you. You're pretty. Yeah, but I can talk Forex all day. Boom. Let's talk fundies. Let's talk technicals, right? So anyways, thank you for being on my team. Thank you for your patience with me. I'm just a regular Joe trying to live an extraordinary life. So peace on earth. May the pips be with you. May your profits be above average. And I'll see you tomorrow. You want to do some jazz with me? I'll leave the room open. We can jazz. Yeah. I'll go back to the classical. No, I'll go back to the 90s acoustic guitar songs. That was pretty good. I listened to the whole thing yesterday. It was pretty good. So thank you for being a client of TradersWay. If you haven't done so, please open an account at TradersWay.com and right. And thank you to those that contributed to the Wayne McDonell Cigar and Whiskey Fund. Appreciate that. Cheers.